All right, welcome back. Brett here with ClickMail. So in this video, continuing here with Google Ads, what is the difference between the traditional advertising and the digital advertising? Okay, and so big difference. Traditional advertising is going to be mass media, radio, TV, mailers, the banner over the highway, right? The billboard over the highway. This is more traditional advertising, and traditional advertising is going to be based on large numbers of people. You're just, dropping flyers out of the helicopter over a whole city, and you're hoping that that 1/4% of the population of people who need their driveway paver sealed, their driveways pavers sealed, they're going to find that and they're going to call you. Now, this is the way that you kind of used to have to do advertising because there wasn't any way to target people specifically. And so when you have the traditional advertising, it's mass marketing. You're trying to hit everybody and you're trying to get the tiny fraction of a percent of people who are interested in what you have. And then you're trying to make a profit on that. Now, fast forward to the advent of the internet and cookies, where the cookie's in the browser and the cookie can track people and know what their buying behavior is. And we have these sort of data sets about people and data-driven decision-making, all of these types of things. What we can now do is we don't have to show the banner over the highway to every single car, right? We don't have to just have that billboard that says, were you in a wreck? I guess that's actually kind of appropriate. People in car. Okay. Well, either way, let's say, do you need an attorney? How many of the people driving down the road on any given day need an attorney? It's a very small percent. What we can now do is we can work for the attorney and we can only advertise to people who have gone to Google and typed in how to hire an attorney today, how to hire attorneys for car accidents, and they're actively looking only for exactly what you're selling. So this would be akin to having the billboard over the highway, except the billboard only shows to exactly, the soccer mom in the light bluish colored minivan who's wearing, this type of clothing and has this type of phone. So you can target in and only show your ad to those people. Okay, so we get a very finely tuned who we're targeting those ads to. Now, even beyond that, in traditional advertising, you had to pay to use the billboard space. And when I was a kid, I was always like, I'm going to buy billboards. I'm just going to have tons and tons of billboards because you just put whatever you want up there and they just pay you every month. You've got this passive income. I was thinking about that when I was like 12. I'm going to buy billboards. Well, billboards are great and everything, except you pay with no promise of results. Maybe it turns out that the billboard over the, Austin, Texas freeway, there are no soccer moms driving blue minivans that want to purchase your blue minivan scratch sealant because the kid scratched the fence. There are none. So you paid for the billboard and you get no results. You get no profit and you're out of business. Okay, that is legitimately and can happen. Now, with digital advertising, you only pay when someone identifies themselves as someone who is interested in what you're offering. So essentially, you only show your ad to the person, or when I say this, you only pay for the ad when the person actively identifies themselves as someone who is interested in it. And so what happens here is when you have mass marketing and you have billboards, I mean, you're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to show yourself on TVs and radio stations. You can only have the big movers really afford the advertising. But when you go to digital advertising, you only pay for individual interactions. And so you can have a budget of $15 and buy some interactions with targeted potential clients. And so this brings down the barrier to entry from only big businesses to small and medium and small size businesses who can now afford to advertise. And this makes the landscape much more open, much more diverse for competition. And of course means that you or your clients can also start affording to get into digital advertising. And not only that, but targeting people much more effectively than you could have done traditionally. So that is the difference between traditional advertising versus digital advertising. In digital advertising, we can target very specific groups of people based on a lot of behavior and search terms they're looking for. And then we only even have to pay for them if they identify themselves as someone who's interested in our offering. So in the next video, we're going to talk about how the user is going to identify themselves so you know what you're going to be paying for with Google Ads. We'll see you there.